Hello, welcome to the Well of Being. This is Melissa, intuitive healer, guide, and channel. Today, I am offering up an oracle card revelation that will support us in this portal that we are coming into. So on Monday, we have this full moon with a lunar eclipse. And just 2 weeks later, we have a full solar eclipse. So this is a very powerful alignment. Shadow and light, light and shadow. So what we are opening to is what can best support us. And I'm hearing it like a very, let's give us some practical concepts here, cards. We would love some practical guidance, divine, and these beautiful decks to support us in opening into this powerful portal. So opening into the shadow, opening into the light, and everything it has to offer us. These are all new decks for me. Never read from these decks before. We have the Crystal Mandala Oracle with this piece of Amethyst. The Journey of Love with this lovely heart. And Sacred Rebels with this snail shell that I actually found here in Indiana. So feel what aligns best to you. 1, 2, or 3, and we are off. These are all Alana Fairchild. She has just been singing to me lately with her beautiful decks. And we will start with the Crystal Mandala deck, and we will draw 6 cards. All right. Again, totally new to me. I did at least give them a little shuffle beforehand, since they're so brand spanking new. Break the seal. We have Higher Will, the Ascended Master El Moria, and the Blue Star Sapphire. Your Time to Shine, Ascended Master Helios and Citrine. Sensitivity, Ascended Master Lady Nada and Rhodochrosite. Ascended Master Serapis Bay and Clear Calcite, Karmic Grace. So It Shall Be, Ascended Master Babaji and the Diamond. And our final card, Heavenly Mercy, Angel Uziel and Smoky Quartz. Okay, interesting. So all of these are Crystal Masters 333, except for this final one with the pink border that is Crystal Angels 444. Feels very significant. So I'm going to start with 444. So again, we are opening to, especially over the next 2 weeks, as we open to this portal of a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse. What support is here for us right now? Very practically. And this feels to me like this is so much about the shadow within the light and the light within the shadow within the light and the light within the shadow. So, not a shocker to see this kind of powerful message when we're coming into both a lunar and a solar eclipse. And you even have this really bright light orange, which is part of what happens with the solar eclipse and why we need our protective glasses, is because it creates such an intensive, radiant glow around the sun when the moon passes before the sun. So, essentially, what we're going to have is the sun passing before the moon and the moon passing before the sun. They're just doing a little this beautiful dance. So what I feel like this card is calling forth for you is really deepening your recognition that the shadow and the light and the shadow are a continuous dance. So this concept of it being heavenly mercy, it's like, oh, there's such beautiful, the word I want to say is grace and mercy that we open to when we recognize that this truly is the bliss state of all of life. That it isn't that I am absolutely trying to reach some pristine state of pure crystalline light, or that I need to, be stuck in some place of shadow, and then judging that place of shadow in such a way where we feel like, again, like we're stuck there and that this is a problem and this is our spiritual goal is to get out of this place. And this card is really inviting us to recognize that the bliss state is realizing that these two are in a constant state of merger. There's a spiral here. So there's a spiral, like a spiral of unification, the yin, the yang, merging the shadow and the light, merging the shadow and the light. So this card feels very much about merging the shadow and the light. So I'm going to keep pulling in other cards because I'm not getting a lot more, because I keep hearing I want to bring in practical wisdom, but not having a big message yet. I know it's going to come together. So the next card that comes forth is Your Time to Shine, which feels like it is part of the orange glow that we see in the Heavenly Mercy card. So this Your Time to Shine card that is really calling forth the light of Helios, of the sun, of citrine. So all the solar codes, it really is about, and interestingly, even the crystal, even though there's so much glow and orange and red and white, there's also this dark shadow aspect. So it feels like there's something in you that perhaps you haven't fully been shining through because you felt like it wasn't okay. Like the shadow side that's still there in you, like, no, I got to purify all this. I have to clear all this before I can come forth and shine. And this card is saying, no, you come forth now as all that you are now. As all that you are now. So I feel like the Master Helios and the citrine and the energy of this card is really surging and pulling you forth into your expression of the truth of who you are. So pulling this light forth, and it's, again, I said light, but really it is pulling the truth of who you are forth, the emergence of the fullness of who you are, the fully unified and integrated wholeness of who you are, that it is time for that to fully shine through. Gonna keep following the flow. I feel like there's a big message that's coming through at the end. Okay, and this one feels, Ascended Master El Moria, blue star. So this feels like a very galactic message that's coming from on high, that is coming through to these more earthly experiences of merging shadow and light and the recognition of shining the light of truth. So this is just affirming and confirming for you that there is this higher guidance. This feels like this is at your crown chakra. This higher guidance that is here for you. But the concept of the will is important, because the will feels like it is drawing you to make choices. So this isn't just about like surrendering and saying like, all right, I'm going to merge the shadow and the light. I'm going to open to this possibility of shining the truth of who I am. This card is calling you forth, like almost like it's channeling the energy coming in from the galactic, but also channeling in your light as emerges from you in this beautiful integrated place. And it's saying, all right, you have to actually make these action choices. You have to make choices in your life. So what do I mean by choices? I'm hearing that especially in your work life, like there may be some really pivotal things that are coming up where you're going to have to choose. And one of them could be as like big as should I stay or should I go in the job that you're in. Another aspect that I'm hearing is like you're being offered some sort of promotion, a new opportunity. And I'm kind of hearing that there might be part of you that's been hiding fully the truth of who you are in this position of your work. And you've been feeling on the inside like, well, if I'm going to stay in this job, I have to pull the truth of who I am, the full integrated truth of who I am into it, because otherwise I'm going to be miserable. And this higher will card is saying like, your guidance is yes. The guidance is yes. Like this is the time to accept the position and then to show up as this whole other beautiful integrated being of light. And what I'm hearing is that like there's part of you that might be afraid of what your coworkers are going to think and feel about this new aspect of you coming forth. But the higher will card is just showing you that no, this is that even though you may have those feelings, don't let them block you, because you're being guided from such a high level that this choice of drawing the truth of your gifts, your shadow and your light, your integrated being into your work is coming from a higher place, and that it is going to bring so much more that we're going to tap into. So, but it is something that you're going to be like, there's like a really clear, like yes or no choice. So karmic grace, Ascended Master Serapis Bay, and clear calcite. So it's interesting because when I was reading into this card, I heard the word grace when when I was reading it into it. But the concept of the karmic grace feels like this is falling a little below this card. So you've got this powerful message coming through, and then in here is the karmic grace. And then in here is the time to shine, and then heavenly mercy, almost like we could stack them in this really beautiful way, and they would create this huge, beautiful, cosmic-like message for you. So I'm doing my best to read into that and explain it. So what does this concept of karmic grace? Well, this is part of the soul contracts that you came in with that are coming to completion. So if you have not done so, there was a really beautiful offering a few days ago about soul contracts. So your soul contracts are coming to completion, and you're entering a phase of transition where you're not limited by any structures that you had brought in as your original agreements for living an embodied life. So this phase of karmic grace is offering you like a rebirth, a new beginning. So again, I keep hearing that this is a big part of your work life, of what you're bringing to your work life. So the karmic grace is allowing you, it's giving you that beautiful message of like, say yes. Whether it is say yes to some new career path, or it's say yes to a big shift within your career path, or it's a say yes to a shift within your current career path, the karmic grace is like, like the way is cleared. That's what I'm hearing. The way is cleared for this new way of being, for this new beginning for you in your work to really just shine through. Clearly shine through. Okay. And so it shall be. Whew. Is this the next card? No, this is the final card I'm going to read into. So the next one is going to be sensitivity. Ascended Master Lady Nada and rhodochrosite. Sorry, I don't know how to say that, but whew. So, I mean, I'm feeling massive amounts of like Mother Mary energy in here, compassion. So this falls into kind of the energy of these two cards together. So with the ending of the soul contracts that you experienced, there was this whole new level of awareness of what you learned from those experiences, what you cleared from those experiences that have opened you to a new level of sensitivity and awareness. And this sensitivity and awareness gives you a greater level of compassion and perspective. So that's, again, since this seems to be so much about the work that you're bringing into the world, the compassion and perspective can be what you are bringing to this level of your work. And that, especially as I see as it relates to, working with others and employees, and also like a perspective for the greater good of what you're bringing. So like opening to the bigger picture, like literally, like it's blossoming, it's opening to the bigger picture of why you are bringing this work to the world. So I know I'm using the word work a lot. And yes, it can mean like very much this, like it does feel like it is very much like a profession that you have, but there's almost like the energy within that and what you're bringing within that, that it's like you're opening to this new level of sensitivity, connection, compassion, purpose that is bringing, I'm just hearing, shining a new light on like your whole perspective and concept of the work that you bring to the world, whether it is through the job that you've had or a new role that you'll be taking on or a whole new career. So kind of the crowning glory for all this is so it shall be. It's like, it's almost like that end of a meditation. So it shall be. So it feels like this is at the root of this entire message. And a diamond, of course, it's like this diamond had to form from being compressed deep within the earth for such a long period of time in order to create this radiant brilliance. And of course, then there's the level of someone who had to go and create all the facets that allow the light to reflect and refract and create this crystalline magic that is the diamond. So there's a lot of intense work that's been going on over a long period of time to create the diamond. And that really is, again, it feels like the root, the crowning glory of this work that you've been doing, that again feels like if we were to stack it, I don't even know if I can do this, but it would be like the higher will card, karmic grace, the sensitivity, your time to shine, heavenly mercy, like they would stack on each other in this way. And you can almost just feel this vibrational frequency of all of these messages together. At the very least, I can order them this way so you can see them fully in this alignment that I am perceiving. They wish to be seen. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so let's bring in our amethyst and any final light language that wishes to be shared. Ai pe kukuru kai ke oro oe ke ai ekoro oe ke oro oe. Te ke okoro oe e ke oro okokoro oe e ke oro o kai e. Te ke oro oe ke oro okokoro oko oe. Te e ke koro okoe e ke oro oe ke. You've been waiting a long time for this, deck number 1, folks. And now's the time. Now is the time. Everything is aligned for you. Everything is aligned. It is in your higher will. The karmic grace is with you. You have the sensitivity to navigate this new place of being. It is your time to shine. Through the heavenly mercy, you have been shifting and opening and integrating your being, all levels of your being. And so it shall be. Awesome. Beautiful. All right. Next, we have the journey of love. So again, our message is opening up to this 2-week portal between the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse that is here for us right now, that integration of light and shadow, shadow and light, and what messages, like at a very practical level, are here for us. Here for us right now. All right. We have drop into your heart. Intimacy. Two cards. Cosmic butterfly. Hidden beauty. The swan. And our final card is Earth Angel. Whew. All right, deck number 2, people. Deck number 1 was very much a focus on work life, and deck number 2 is all about intimate and personal relationship. Yeah, beautiful. So, feeling we're starting here. Whoop. We're starting with hidden beauty. You've been hiding, deck number 2. You have been hiding your beautiful self. Now, there's been a reason why you've been hiding your beautiful self, and as we speak into intimate relationship, you've been hurt very deeply, and so you had to hide away in order to heal. And I almost feel like this one wants to come out right away. This, as you drop into this glorious heart. So it's like this part of you that's almost hiding yourself away, and this is what's on the inside, just wanting to express itself so exuberantly. This is what's in the inside. So again, you've been hiding away to heal, and you've done beautiful work. It was necessary. And in this moment, if you drop into your heart, you know with deep awareness that it is time to spiral out. And you can see, look at these little spirals in this card, almost like she's coming out. She's coming out. So you are being invited to drop into your heart and recognize that you are ready to open to a new level. So this concept of the swan, which is, wow, this is such beautiful, very simple imagery, but very parallel to the hidden beauty card. But of course, I can't help but think of like the ugly duckling story. And, you know, I mean, the ugly duckling story was that the swan that was birthed into a nest of ducks felt like, you know, there was something wrong with him and he was rejected, but that's because he was a swan and he was in the wrong nest. But as he came to his full beauty, you know, he was able to recognize the truth of who he was and drop into the truth of who he was and literally open into that full winged expression and fly into a new perspective that was beyond the limitation. So this feels very much like a story to reflect on how that might relate to your own experience around relationship, and that you may feel like you were dropped into a situation where you did not fit in, you did not belong, you were not accepted. but that's because you're the swan and you had put yourself in a nest of ducklings. So yeah, you heard what I said. It wasn't an accident. There's something that put yourself there as a gift, as a tool of learning, perspective, and awareness. Because if a swan was just among swans, it may not realize how fucking amazing it is. If it's just among swans all day. But there was something about the contrast of having chosen to put yourself in this situation where you may have been amongst, energies that didn't quite reflect the pure, pristine beauty of who you are, that made you go deep within so that you could drop into your heart and open to a new level. So this card wants to come out next. The Cosmic Butterfly. Oof. So this is part of the story, and these two go together. The Cosmic Butterfly, when she came out of her cocoon, became the Earth Angel. So I will discuss that in a moment. But so this is part of the higher level of your choice, of having wanted to come here with your full, expansive starseed, galactic, Earth purpose, like all of that beautifully woven together. But then you put it in this kind of cocoon phase in your experience that required you to go through some deep levels of learning, that you wanted to hide away, that you put yourself in phases of contrast. But as you drop within and recognize the beauty within, the heart within, and I feel the siren, I hear the siren, and that always is significant. Because this siren is always, whenever I'm doing a reading, is just calling us, like, the card that I'm holding in my hand is significant for you. Deck number 2, the Cosmic Butterfly. So almost like when you look at this card, this could look like a womb with all of your light within it. And it's birthing this, like, oh my God, this brilliance. And of course, we could also see the concept of the cocoon. We could flip this and kind of see a butterfly shape. So what does this mean for you? What this means is that, like, this is just a recognition of your freaking awesomeness that you came here with. This is why you've never been able to fit in as a duckling. We'll just use that analogy, because of the truth of who you are. And when you drop into your heart, you feel that essence, that energy that's within you that is so ready to spread its wings. So this earth angel is literally weaving the energy that you brought in as the cosmic butterfly into your earthly embodiment. So it's almost like this beautiful hidden beauty. She woke up, remembered who she truly was, dropped into her heart, recognized herself as the cosmic butterfly, and she's emerging like this. So Earth Angel is another thing, like almost like this cosmic butterfly here on Earth. So what that means for you, deck number 2, is that there is this brilliance of your integrated galactic cosmic self that is coming to a level of emergence here on the earth plane, and that you are literally like painting your life in a whole new way because of this awareness of the truth of who you are. Like, it's beating through your heart. It's emerging like the wings of the butterfly, and you are literally coloring your whole life with this integrated galactic and earthly awareness. So these two cards, it feels to me like this is her in relationship. So again, this does feel very much that this is about calling in an intimate partner into your life. Again, you can almost just see this merging of these two cards together, that there is something very important for you calling these energies into your life. So this intimate partner that you're calling in is an individual who absolutely has been waiting for your full emergence, for you to awaken and drop into your heart and fully express your integrated cosmic galactic starseed truth of who you are, to fully spread your wings as the swan, the butterfly, the earth angel that you are. And this being's going to be like, there she is. So it doesn't even feel like there's effort here. It feels like he or she is right there waiting for you. And you simply have to step even more. Step isn't even the right word for you. It feels very much like it's like really becoming aware of your wings and connecting into your wings. So by wings, it feels like an integration of your cosmic, galactic, spiritual self into your embodiment in such a way where it is giving you a whole new perspective on life and the way you connect in, and literally almost like your wings are the paintbrush that you are coloring and shifting your reality through this new awareness of you, of the truth of who you are, of dropping in and recognizing and connecting into the truth of who you are. Sebe okoro ukai eke oro. Sebe ke oro eke oro. Sebe ke oro hua he oro hu. Sebe ke oro e he oro. And I'm seeing that there is going to need to be like a visible level of expression for you to call this in. So what is that going to look like? That means that you're going to be putting yourself out there. And you've been preparing for this. So putting yourself out there could be, it feels like it's something you're creating, whether it is through art or images or, some other creative talent, your voice, poetry. There's some way that simply through you sharing openly and publicly the truth of who you are, you're going to draw in your beloved in this very organic, integrated way that just is so beautiful and aligned. It's just part of the masterpiece of your experience right now. Amazing. Okay. So, beautiful deck number 2. Our final deck is the Sacred Rebels Oracle. And this fun snail shell that I found by the White River here in Indiana. Amazing. They have tons of these big guys over there. All right, Sacred Rebels. What you got for us? Oh, this bottom one showed itself, so I have to show it. Faith in the process. In the world, not of the world. Releasing allegiances. Release the dark wound and let the love in. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. And finally, receiving. Wowzers. Okay, again, new decks to me. Oh, beautiful. So remembering that we are opening deck 3, folks, into the concept of what would best support us over these next 2 weeks as we enter this portal of the lunar eclipse with the full moon on Monday and the solar eclipse 2 weeks from now. We recognize we're in this powerful portal. I'm hearing this card first. Releasing allegiances. So there have been relationships and connections that have been very supportive to you, probably like up until this very moment, that actually are going to become potentially toxic and problematic going forward, especially into this next 2 weeks portal. You'll become hyper aware, almost like you have insects around you that are about to sting you. So really tuning in to this feels like personal relationships in particular. It doesn't feel as much about work, but personal relationships that have been, I feel like they've been like incredibly powerful sources of support for you, that moving forward, you need to renegotiate your relationship with those relationships. So almost like they were, again, allegiance is a strong word. Like you might have had a soul contract with this person to do some really deep work, but that contract has come to completion. So you're in transition and you're going to really need to release that connection with them. Again, especially in the next 2 weeks. Otherwise, there may be some toxic outcomes that push you to release the allegiance. So right now you're in a place of transition that really gives you the opportunity to make a choice in a way that does not feel so painful to either you or the other. Like you're able to navigate that. And I feel like more is going to come out with the other cards. But if you wait, that it's still going to happen, but it's going to do so in a way that's like alarming and disarming. This card wants to be read next. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. So the energy of this card feels like this is what you're really being drawn into, almost like this is the same being. So you know that there's something in you that is really being called to this. It's a higher level of solo awareness. So by solo awareness, I mean like independent of direct guidance from others here on the earth plane. Again, it feels like you've had some really strong allegiances that have supported you, but you are being invited to really open to, and I think we'll be probably heading this way next, but this higher level of connection with your higher self, your intuition, your divine team, and recognizing that they are literally surrounding you and guiding you right now so intensely. So that's part of this, is that this pull is so intense for you right now that the allegiances that you have will actually distract you from connecting to your own intuitive energy. And almost like interestingly, I could see that these could be insects too, but they'd be fireflies in some way. But yeah, so really guiding you to go within. And it may mean that you are separating yourself from many people, but especially those who have been a strong support of guidance at this time. So it could be at a personal level that you've had this allegiance, and it could also be at a maybe even someone that you've just been relying on through YouTube or some other source of support you've had in your life that's been external to you, whether it's a book, etc., and you're just deeply, deeply, deeply drawn to aligning within. This one actually wants to go next. Release the dark wound and let love live. So this feels like another level of the releasing allegiances. So part of the challenge of the allegiances and why you might have some difficulty releasing them actually relates to some wounding that you had in childhood. It could be fear of hurting someone else's feelings. It could be fear of abandonment, rejection. It could be a fear that if you let this person go, then, is there really someone who's going to come in and support you if you let this connection go? Again, whether it's an individual, it could be a teacher, a healer, it could be something on YouTube, it could be, using oracle cards or guidebooks. There's something that you've been using, again, in deep connection to support your spiritual process, that you've done so because almost like you've been doing it from a place of wounding. There is a level of wounding that's made you reliant on that path. A level of wounding that's made you become, that it had to get to the level of an allegiance rather than like a fluid, dynamic relationship. So releasing the wounding will allow a level of love to come in. And that's really what that higher level connection, like it's beyond the concept of allegiance. Love doesn't have allegiance and rules and structures with it. So this is releasing the dark wound is allowing you to open to a higher level of connection and support where love is flowing freely. So that kind of almost like, if you look at this spiral too, there's this spiral, there's this spiral, there's a lot of spirals here. So this is part of, she's letting the love in. She's letting the love in. And the love is connecting with her higher self authentically, connecting with her higher guidance, trusting her higher guidance. So, all right, I'm called to this one next. So faith in the process, and I think this goes to the childhood wound. I mean, it literally looks like it could be a young adult, but she's in like one of those little wagons that says faith on it. And she has these little birdies on her back. So, and she's just looks very exposed, and yet, oof. Yeah, so I think this is speaking deeper into the wound that led to the alliances that you are clearing at this time. Again, especially in this 2-week period. So having faith in the process, having faith in the process. It's a lot of light language that wants to come through. Let's see. I feel like I still want to speak words into this. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of intensity. So I feel like the depth of the wound that you experienced, that you're in the process of, have been for a long time, but especially actively right now, that you are releasing, that is allowing you to release allegiances. Another siren. Again, anytime a siren goes by and I'm holding a card, it's like, okay, pay attention. So this young aspect of your being who is contained in the faith wagon, this beautiful level of like, I'm just feeling like this invitation to take her hand and help her out. And it's almost like these little birdies are like, hey, hey, hey. I mean, I know they don't have color, but I want them to be bluebirds of happiness. Like, because she feels very sad and she feels very stuck. And almost in a way, it's another level of this card. But the invitation with the faith in the process is actually, it feels to me like it's almost like this image is the past. And this image is a place of the wound that you are moving beyond. And the next level is the invitation to step out of that wagon and really come into this place. In the world, but not of the world. In the world, but not of the world. But the energy of this card is so vibrant and so expressive and so free and so liberated and so, yeah, so fully in alignment. So this release of the dark wound, this release of any allegiances that were kind of coming from a place of wounding, that were holding you back from fully being in alignment, that allow you to fully open. So yeah, again, it's like I can see the connection between all these cards, and then she is just whoosh, coming forth from it, from this place of liberation. So that, again, just to rewind, I think the faith in the process card is representing the energy of the wounding, and is really the invitation to open up, to step out of the wagon and recognize that all of this process that you are in, although it is part of the earthly experience, you are in alignment with something that is so much more expansive. Your higher self is guiding you to see that and to connect to it beyond the place of wounding, beyond some place that might hold you limited here through a concept that you need to be in allegiance, whether it's with a teacher, a healer, etc. And this final card that I'm reading feels like, because there can be such a reciprocal, it feels reciprocal, like this place of receiving, this cyclical, reciprocal place of receiving. And she just feels deeply at peace. Because this place of receiving is beyond the wound, it's beyond the process, it's beyond any allegiance. It is just a place where you are. And in this place of being, you are at a deeper place of peace. So again, that just feels like an anchor point for this reading of entering a phase of deeper peace. I feel like there's been a lot for you around healing the wound, about wanting someone to come along and pull this wagon and guide you, right? There we go. And that you did find some people that were incredible allegiances who supported you in that, but you found them to help you through a deep place of wounding. And as you release the wounding energy and open to this higher place of alignment, you arrive at this place of liberation and expansion, where even though this process has been part of your experience, it is no longer holding you back in any way, and you enter a deeper place of peace. Whew. So deck number 3, I think one of the most important messages for you right now is really to go back to that first card and just get really honest and clear with yourself around anything or anyone where you feel like you've come to a place of completion in that relationship with that, practice or healer or, whatever they're providing you, that you've come to a place of completion. That feels like a very important thing to get clarity around over the next 2 weeks, so that you can open up to this beautiful, peaceful place of just being an open receiving. Sike o koro ke e te o koro e Sike o koro e Sike o koro e Sike o rahu e Sike o hura kura Beautiful. Okay, that was awesome. I'm so excited to have these new decks in my family. So bring out everybody for the grand finale. We had deck number 3, the Sacred Rebel. Deck number 2, the Journey of Love. And deck number 1, the Crystal Mandala. Blessings.